Escapism is often used as a derogatory term for people avoiding to deal with their issues, for people who, instead of doing what they should do something else. And this, of course, technically completely true, but I wish that a lot more people looked at the phenomena from a much bigger picture, because there's a reason people want to participate in things that allows them to escape reality, and that is the simple fact that they are not happy in reality. And another simple fact is that a lot of people, just normal people, not people like myself with a mental condition, a lot of normal people, they live in a situation that they cannot control. It could be a society that they don't really understand or belong in. It could be just a simple situation in life where their social setting, their economical situation and so on is hard. It could be a hard situation at work. They could be unemployed and so on. And to face this harsh reality all the time is struggling for the mental sanity of people. That's why we go and seek out ways to escape this. And for someone like me, who suffers from borderline, escapism is basically essential for survival. I can't deal with certain things because my mind doesn't work that way. When I start to panic about a situation, I must step away. If I try to force it, I will hit a wall, and that wall will lead to a panic attack. In 9 cases of 10, it leads to a panic attack. And then I basically become paralyzed from action. That is the simple truth. And knowing this and knowing my own situation, I can sympathize a lot easier with people in general who struggle with everyday life and seek out escapism. Now, of course, does this mean that you should never deal with your issues and take care of things? Of course it doesn't. In many cases you can. And a lot of people, they probably can if they just tried. But there's going to be a lot of people who can't out there. And that is a good wake-up call that maybe there is something wrong with a lot of people's life. They live the wrong life. They don't live a life that makes them happy. It could be a bad choice in life. You married the wrong person. You don't like their company, actually. And so, any time and chance you get, you maybe sit at the computer and play a video game instead. The simple fact is that there's probably a bunch of people out there in unhappy relationships that shouldn't be together. It's a simple fact. I'm very cynical about this. People, they try to work out things when they don't really have anything in common. They are not compatible. And there's also going to be a lot of people out there who live in a society, as I mentioned in the previous video, which their identity, their sense of self is difficult for them to understand. I think many young men are like this. They can't really understand their place in society, so they seek out a world, a universe where they understand what they are. And sure, you can think of this as something silly. And you can think, oh well, hey, this is reality. You gotta learn to live with it. Yeah, and they have to, because there is no way out of it in reality. But for a brief moment, they can seek out another reality. The reality of a computer game where they are able to play this, dragon slaying warrior, maybe. Because there's a part of them that likes this reality a lot more than the reality where they have to go and work at some hamburger joint or something like that, and listen to the complaining customers who come in there every day and moan about things and so on. A lot of people hate their professional life, and unfortunately we live in a world where it's not easy to just move along and take another work, another job. Not even, as I understand it, in America, the land of opportunities, it's not easy to just move along to another life. And it's not at all easy in a lot of places in the world where the economy of the average person doesn't allow it, or maybe the society in general is not very flexible for people that are seeking new possibilities in life. Where I live in Sweden, it's like that. You have to be fairly well educated for any line of work, meaning that I can't just take a simple work in another field, maybe if I'm feeling bad in the one I'm working in. It's not that simple. There are hardly any simple works that requires no previous experience or qualified training. And things in this department is only going to get a lot worse. Automation and AI is taking over a lot. I've experienced this myself in the field I'm working in, and it's going to get a lot worse in the future with this. And society in general is not keeping up, and there's going to be a lot of people who struggle with their identity of what they're going to do. People that's going to need ways to cope, ways to get through every day. Escapism. So, as long as you understand this, and you look at a person in your surrounding that tends to avoid their responsibilities and so on, you should always look perhaps kindly at them, that hey, you don't know what this person is actually struggling with. It could be something simple, just not liking their work and needing something else. It could be something worse. It could be a person that actually struggles with their sense of self and really loathe their life. And escapism is a way for them to vent and find a bit of happiness is a strong word, but a little bit of better things. So, escapism is a natural part of the modern society because it is possible here. I mean, imagine 200 years ago. You could maybe sit on a stone somewhere and write a poem, if you knew how to write, that is. That was a way of escaping the reality. Today, people scroll mindlessly through TikTok and so on, which is, in all fairness, a lot worse form of escapism because it doesn't force you to create. It just allows you and your mind to drone on like with any no effort at all. And of course this is bad. I mean, the forms of escapism is of course something we should discuss. I think that some forms are very good, like being creative in a ways. That is that's the S tier. And going back or further down the list, you have things like maybe computer games and other sports, and below this just mindlessly scrolling through social media and TikTok and stuff like that. That is, of course, maybe the worst kind of escapism, but the reason is probably the same. It's a form of stress relief, it's a form of venting, it's a form of coping with a society that you're not, for some reason or another, happy in. And before being very judgmental about a person about this, you should really look into if there could be some things going on in their life. I mean, not meaning you should confront a lot of people by this, because God knows it's annoying with people that assumes stuff about their surrounding. But for your own peace of mind, if you have a partner that escapes reality a lot, ask yourself, are we happy together? Could there be something here that is seriously wrong with our compatibility as a couple? Or is there something in this my partner's own life, like work and stuff, that is very draining on your partner? Before you choose conflict and violence with your partner, take a moment to contemplate these things. That is something I wish a lot more people do, especially young people who are very confrontational about these things. Anyways, this is the Borderline Man signing off.